Question 19, Don says, are all activities that the entity has as it experiences things from the state of infancy a function of the potentiator of mind? Well, Ra says, firstly, although the functions of the mind are indeed paramount over those of the body being the creature of the mind, certainly not all actions of a mind-body-spirit complex could be seen to be due to the potentiating qualities of the mind complex alone, as the body, and in some cases the spirit, also potentiates action. So, important thing to know that so mind is, there's a reason why we don't call it the archetypical body, right? Or the archetypical spirit. It's the archetypical mind. Because the mind, as I have said, from my point of view, is of course the one that is creating the body. It's right here in this paragraph, as Ra repeats again. It's probably the third time they say it in this material. They say the body being the creature of the mind. The body is the creature of the mind. Well, obviously, I know that my mind precedes the body. Everything that I sense, I perceive it in my mind, right? But not everything that I think, I perceive it in my body. Isn't that odd? Well, of course, because the mind precedes the body. And yet, the mind can only experience itself through a body. So, in non-duality, we call it the body-mind structure, or you can call it the mind-body complex. However, the spirit, of course, is also a player here, and both the spirit and the body may potentiate some action, and the spirit also. So, mostly is the mind seeking experience. It's true, and we seek experience through action. But the body may also want to do that. I would feel that the body has its own tendencies, and this would be the physical needs. So, we need to satisfy these physical needs because we can't avoid them. It's interesting that Ra includes sexual activity here, and the reason why in Buddhism, for example, this is not included, as far as I know, or at least not in traditional Buddhism, is because it's associated with desire. And so there's a distinction there. We need to satisfy the need for whatever comes. As long as we're doing it consciously, then we can evolve that into something spiritual, which I think is what Buddhism is, in a sense, sometimes trying to refrain from. But that's a long discussion. The point is that I think the body does potentiate action, and the spirit as well, as long as we open that channel, which is the spirit. And in essence, this is what I would call faith, right? Faith, I think, is so related to the spirit, because faith is the desire for divinity to do its work through me, right? That's what I think, at least. And so when we open ourselves to do that, then spirit is potentiating action. It may not be what we do all the time, but it's certainly part of our archetypical structure. Next, Ra says, secondly, as a mind-body-spirit complex becomes aware of the process of spiritual evolution, more and more of the activities of the mind and body which precipitate activity are caused by those portions of the mind-body-spirit complex which are articulated by the archetypes of transformation. So the archetypes of transformation, this being all the transformation archetypes, which interestingly in the Tarot is the Lovers, which the transformation here, the way I understand it, this is the mind. The Lovers are the transformation card of the, what do you call it? Of the mind, right? Making sure that I got him right. I may mess it up. No, so yeah, transformation is known as the Lovers. And in my very limited interpretation, the Lovers, if you see the card, they are, the male needs to decide which way it goes, through positive or negative. And that has to do with courting the female or prostituting it. Once again, probably unnecessary, but why not? I'm not talking about a physical, biological male here, but even women, heterosexual women, just to cover all my bases, they have this archetype, and we're talking about male and female principles within the mind. Are you going to prostitute the female side of you, which is not physical prostitution, but your mind, your female energy in your mind? Are you going to prostitute it, or are you going to court it? Are you going to have a loving relationship or a dominating relationship? I own you type of relationship, negative and positive. So it's interesting that that's the transformation archetype of the mind. And this is what's guiding now the actions, you see? So my mental actions have to do more and more with courting reality, okay? Let's say you are the active principle and reality is the passive principle. How are you going to react to reality? Are you going to love it, to court it, to let me see you, that's why I love The Lovers, That's, in my whole life I've been sort of romantic too, and flirting or courting a woman for me was always one of the most fascinating games I could play, and it was obviously not very good when the person or the girl wasn't interested in me. But also it wasn't fun when she was totally into me. There was no game, there's no playing, so you want a little resistance, and you want to play that. You want to, you want to know that is winking, stop it, that kind of thing. It's beautiful. But how do you do it? You do it through love, and satisfying her. What do you want? How do you want to play this game? Not just saying, I'm just going to have sex with you. That's it. That's what the negative side would do. So, all right. That's a transformation of mind. But it's also the transformation of body, death. I think it's what is. I don't know. I may be wrong there, but I see a skeleton. So, death of the body is transformation. Well, we can interpret that in many ways, but you're also transforming yourself in the sense that constantly your body's constantly dying. We can even see it at that microscopic level. So how do you intend to use your body? How do you see your body? If I saw my body as just limited, and now I see it as part of the whole, and the more I move in that direction, that positive direction of becoming the universe, my body is the universe, then maybe there is a sort of death there, death and transformation. And the spirit, I think, is resurrection, or the sarcophagus, isn't it? Let me see. I think it is the sarcophagus, right, where there is some sort of resurrection there. So again, another way to talk about transformation. So all of these, in mind, body, and spirit, are guiding our actions. But this is as you become aware of the process of spiritual evolution, which is something that not many people are aware of. If you're watching or listening to this, of course you are, so congratulations to all of us. Yay for us. All we need to do is just continue to allow this transformation to inform our actions and our reality.